When PLSX tokens are burned, whose tokens exactly are getting burned? It's a great question. It's a great question. So the fee2 address in the Uniswap v2 code, which is forked to create the PLSX contracts, scrapes a percentage of fees, 21.7% of fees. And those fees, when you do a swap, are paid in the form of the token that you're getting rid of. So if you were to swap, say, Pulse for Hex, then the contract would scrape some of the Pulse. And if you were to swap Hex for Pulse, it would scrape some of the Hex. Then when someone adds or removes liquidity to that Hex Pulse pair, as part of their add or remove function, that person pays to send the scraped tokens to the fee2 address. And so the fee2 address acquires over time, as people add and remove liquidity from the LP, 21.7% of the fees, and the fees are whichever pair was gotten rid of to get the other side of the pair. And so the tokens that are being burnt, and so what happens is now anyone can run a contract which then uses those scraped fee2 address paid fee percentages, and then buys Pulse X with those so the inputs are the scraped fees from those other coins, and then it trades them for Pulse X, and then those Pulse X are burnt. So the same thing that allows them to do the trade also burns them. So that's it. So the input energy to buy the Pulse X to then burn it comes from the scraped fees from trades in the Pulse X exchange. And so the answer to your question is, whoever was offering their Pulse X as an LP, whoever was offering their Pulse X on the Pulse X whatever pair is the person's Pulse X that gets bought and burnt, because it was the one that was for offer. So people would, if you want to be an LP and make money on Pulse X versus something else, people can then run the function, which will then buy and burn the Pulse X. There you go. You're probably going to have to watch that again to get it. You could also just actually run the buy and burn function yourself on testnet and see what happens.